Hello everybody, my name is Mcclendon. I got this really amazing video starring Tucker Carlson, and he's going to be talking about some major things. Now, it's very rare that I see anyone talk about in the news real things. Not propaganda, not fake news, actually real things happening. So I'm going to piggyback on a lot what Tucker Carlson is talking about, show you some charts and figures, keep you on point so you can actually know what he's talking about instead of just listening to him. You can actually see it. So let's roll it, guys.
Now that the president is in orange, the economy's in great shape. That is the unified message from basically everyone. The New York Times, the chairman of the Federal Reserve told us that the other day. With Joe Biden in office, things are about to explode in a good way. And we certainly hope that's true, of course. But how are people doing right now? Well, one way to measure that, probably the way that matters most, is what does it cost to buy things that you need? Is inflation real? Are you paying more for gas, for example, or groceries than you were a year ago? How about a month ago? Well, we can measure that in a real way. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, consumer prices rose in March at the fastest pace in 9 years. Now, the New York Times told us, don't be misled. It's not real. Inflation's not real. But here are the numbers. Gasoline prices rose over 9% in a single month.
Now, guys, he's talking about inflation. Inflation has been off the charts. Now, there's a lot of things that you guys do not see what's inflation because the way the government reports it is incorrect. How it used to report it is called the CPI. The CPI used to be measured with the energy and also energy and food prices, but the current CPI does not have those. It excludes it. So they're trying to hide inflation by changing the goalpost. So that's what I tell people, you got to really see what the government is actually doing. Their actual goal is to hide what they're doing and not show you what it is. That's why they change the way they measure things. Also, with the government doing these things, the government has also, we have to something called the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is a private bank. Now, this private bank's balance sheet has been exploding, as you see right now on this chart. Now, since it's been exploding because of this, free money has been going out and then just pumping up the markets. And that's where the market money is going. This is also hitting oil prices. And I'm going to go into oil prices a little bit after this when he talks.
Depending on where you live, gas may have risen even more. In Washington, D.C., for example, the average price of gas last year was $2.16 a gallon. Right now, it's over $3 a gallon. That's 40% in 1 year. And it's not just gas. Oil markets are obviously very complex. Everything has gotten more expensive.
Now, let's look at the oil chart. So right now, if you look at the oil chart, ever since oil has been hitting negative 40 when it hits on the futures market, it has been exploding. Now, if you watch my previous videos, I talk about getting into oil long, doing as much as you can to get on this trend. But this is also affecting our prices because you can see, just based link on this picture, if oil goes up, it is connected to everything else. Connected to food, electronics, transportation, everything else goes up. Commodities, the most used. Oil is the most used commodity. So if that goes up, it's going to be even more problematic. Another issue that we have, especially when it comes to the Federal Reserve, since 1913, the Federal Reserve was enacted, our dollar purchasing power, which you can see right here, our dollar purchasing power has been decreasing. Since 1913, it's been going lower and lower and lower and lower. We're purchasing less and prices are going up. Now, if you can understand the relationship between the Federal Reserve, the dollar purchasing chart, and also gold, for an example, gold is a great way to beat inflation. But they're not going to tell you that, and that's why they made gold illegal for so long. That's why we're on a fiat-based system, so we can just inflate and print away. But I'm going to go into a little bit of that a little later, but let him talk some more because Tucker Carlson is killing it right now.
Pretty much. The price of eggs increased by almost 5%. Major appliances by almost 15%. Fresh fruit, 5.6%. Ground beef, 5.5%. Propane, kerosene, firewood, 16% to heat your house. Also up 16% is the median sales price of existing homes. In some places, it's up hundreds of percent. There's also been a massive increase in the selling prices from domestic production of goods. Things like softwood lumber, that increased by 83.2%.
Now, if you guys look at the chart, now if you guys look at the chart, you can see that the lumber prices have been exploding. So this ain't no lie. It's the Federal Reserve can't hide this stuff forever.
83% for dimensional lumber. Softwood, spruce 2x4s. What? Are we out of trees? We might be. Plywood increased by 53%. So the question is, what does this mean for you? Well, did your income go up 83% last year? Probably not. It means you have a lot less money. Your costs increase, your income doesn't. It becomes much more expensive to live. But again, according to the New York Times, don't worry about it. One of their headlines recently warned readers to, quote, not get fooled by the new inflation numbers, because that's, quote, looking back.
Now, the problem with inflation that people really just don't get also is that not just your purchasing power it gets diminished, it hurts savers. So people who are saving for retirement, saving for a new car, saving for whatever, their purchasing power of those saved dollars does less. So this is a bad thing. It hurts. It incentivizes more debt. Now, if you currently look on this chart, I've showed this video before, this part, that the debt clock just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. This is not a good thing. This is just killing us, killing not just Americans, around the world, because most of our inflation that the Federal Reserve is printing is going overseas, so it's affecting them too. So let's roll it more.
Backward. It's inflation nonsense. It'll disappear after the pandemic. Again, we hope that's true. Other news outlets are bold enough to admit, yes, there's inflation, but not because of Joe Biden or his spending trillions of dollars per bill. No, you know what it is? It's climate change. It's climate change is doing it. So either inflation isn't real and you're a right-wing kook for thinking it is, $9 for a 2x4, it's always been $9. Or it tells you don't believe in climate change, or it tells you just shut up and obey. And that tells you everything, their response. Again, nothing to see here. We hope they're right.
Okay, this Tucker Carlson video, absolutely amazing. So much information. You really, guys, people need to understand how amazing this guy is to bring up this information. So what I really want to show you also is, if you go to my website, Andre J. Mcclendon, my website, please go to my website, make a free account, click on gold and silver and stats, and you guys can see all of these things that I'm bringing up and understand what's happening a little bit more. Because what's happening is that we're basically heading to either hyperinflation or one of the five types of crashes. So one of those, maybe stagflation, maybe hyperinflation, maybe inflation, maybe deflation. If this happens, it's going to get very, very bad, guys. So that's as much as I can give you guys in this video, but thank you guys for making it to the end. I hope you guys learned a lot. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Deuces.